Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters, live from Cologne here in Studio One and the Arena as part of the ESL coverage of the Intel Extreme Masters. It is the third round of the season. We're going to Singapore next week, then we're going to be in Brazil, and of course we're going to be in Katowice for our World Championship finals in March. Before we get there, though, there's still a lot of money to give away and a lot of trophies to be won by our teams. And our second semi-final is nicely poised right now. If you're just joining us as one of the over 230,000 people that are watching only on the IEM channel on Twitch, we thank you for joining us. You are just in time because we are ready for match number 3, game number 3 of our second semi-final. The Americans managed to pull it back. Europe won the first one. It's the Battle of the Transatlantic, and it's between CLG and Fnatic. Let's go back to our commentary team. Chaps, take it away.
Thank you very much. Wow. What a game. What a game. Some crazy, crazy action. Both matches have been pretty heavily one-sided, that's for sure. And Fnatic struck first, I believe is the phrase. I don't know how you'd say that. But
I think as an American I would know that.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, why am I asking English US? As the install always says these days, every time I install anything, in fact. But Counter Logic Gaming, they reacted in kind. And, well, a 9-0-5, I believe, was the end score for Doublelift. And that man on your screen there, 6-0-6 on Ziggs as well. Hasn't died on Ziggs. The 2 times he's played it, he has an incredible KDA on Ziggs. So is that even going to be a focus ban, I wonder?
No.
No.
I mean, you're 100% right. He's playing so well on Ziggs, but there's no way that they're going to use one of their 3 bans on that champion. I mean, they banned out LeBlanc, Elise, and Annie in the first game, and then the second they banned out LeBlanc, Elise, and Nidalee. There's no way they're going to get rid of any of those 3 champions to take away. We're seeing pretty much the exact same bans come in, though. But I want to know, are we going to see maybe a Leona ban? Because that was such...
No. I think it'll be more an Annie ban, and basically so they don't go for that counter, maybe pull a Thresh out, something like that.
Well,
what do you think,
I'm trying to think because Leona was such an instrumental part of that game
absolutely.
for CLG to win. That Yellowstar, he just couldn't kind of get the position he wanted to really get the game going, but it wasn't necessarily his fault. It was just overall CLG was doing such a great job. But you can tell, Fnatic are taking their time here. They're not sure exactly what they want to take away just yet.
So has got Ziggs on his screen, so he's going to ban that out.
Ban it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, okay. I mean, that was an issue for, and that's a big praise to Link there. Nidalee being taken out as well, so will they go for an Orianna and Annie? Will they think of maybe a top lane or a Shyvana is going to be the focus of the first pick?
And that was so instrumental in Fnatic winning that first game. It really was, because you saw Cyanide constantly counter-jungling, tricks, and he could not get in the game. He just didn't know what to do. Once he lost his jungle, he started investing in wards. But once that starts happening, it's a downward spiral. He couldn't get the money he needed for items. He needs a lot better protection here if they want to be able to keep him in the game. He can't just depend on, camping other lanes. And Cyanide, he's going to be going for something like that again. And CLG, they have to stop it. Oh, wow.
Oh, well, first. There it is. There's the answer. We are going to see Aframu once again on Leona, and it worked very well. Hadn't taken the Orianna. What counter would you go with on this one? There's been a number of people claiming different things against Orianna. Ziggs was one of them. And Fnatic banned it out.
I want to say Ahri, maybe? I expect I played a lot of Ahri.
Ahri used to be the traditional, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Orianna gets picked, you go Ahri. Ahri gets picked, you go Orianna.
And she was different in patch 3.13, where her charm would land and do an extra 20% damage with spells after that. I'm thinking that might be what they want to go, or maybe they want to lock down their AD carry since they know they're already going up against Leona and take that away from Doublelift.
Well, we do see potentially Thresh coming out, and he is available, but I think they want to not switch the lanes up this time. 2v1 didn't work out so successfully this time around.
Oh, really? As I say, if they're going to pick up Thresh, they might want to take...
I mean, Zyra Ashe was available again. Like, it worked so well in game 1. Didn't go for it this time around.
Interesting. So, it's kind of funny because Yellowstar was like the main man playing Corki back when he was doing AD carries. He knows exactly how he works, but really surprised to see that. But then again, you can obviously jump away. You do a lot of magic damage early on, actually throughout the entire game. But Doublelift, what is he going to go up against that? He has Leona who can be very aggressive. He could go for Lucian again, who did fairly well. You have a great poke with it. But you can tell both teams take this very seriously. I mean, 1-1 here, and the winner goes on to play Gambit. That is no easy feat for itself.
I mean, it's a scary Gambit we've seen so far, and they're laughing and joking, smiling. A happy Gambit is a scary Gambit sometimes, but this right now is all about who will face them. Can CLG keep America in it and really reignite the CLG flag as well, because they've been lacking in trophies for some time, honestly, since the lineups changed around, and they didn't even make it through to Worlds this Rio round, which was a bit of a sad times, but Twisted Fate being hovered over right now. Jarvan and Lucian. Lucian, well, 905 says it all, really, for double lift on Lucian.
And he can...
Jinx was available, by the way, as well. Didn't go for Jinx. Aatrox as a champion, as Cyanide ran heavily. So this actually could... Oh, wow. I mean, who could be where? This could be a top lane. This could be Soaz as well.
This is... Aatrox has become one of those things you can pick that you don't know where it's going to go if you pick it early on. Same thing with Shyvana. Like, you don't know if it's going to be the jungle 100%. You don't know if it's going to be top lane, but you know it's going to be a nuisance no matter what. But this kind of comp, I mean, you have two people who are going to dive in. I don't know. I mean, the Twisted Fate's not bad, but you're going to struggle a little bit because there's such a tanky and such a heavy CC team with that Jarvan, with that Leona, and with that Orianna that it might not... I'm happy. The Organa was changed around for this patch too.
Right, okay.
So her W does tick twice as fast. Doesn't reduce magic damage, though, or magic resist, though. And her auto attack animation was fixed a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to do that. But, I mean, so they're kind of really counting on, assuming that Cyanide will be on the Aatrox, to go in, slow him down, and then have Morgana Black Shield herself, and then to kind of just keep them all there with that ultimate, or even, you know, Black Shield Reckless, so he can not get stunned out at all.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out for him. He's definitely a farmer. Good lord, you're trying to troll me again. Aframu, stop it. It is going to be a Lee Sin. That's going to be Trix pulling out the Lee Sin. So, where will Aatrox go? Will it be Cyanide? Cyanide played an amazing Aatrox during Worlds, so I won't be surprised if it sticks on him.
I don't like Fnatic's comp for a couple of reasons. The Thresh against Lucian is not a great pickup, because Lucian can get out of Thresh's ultimate really quickly, get out of the slow, because you're depending on Thresh to get in there, use the box around the team, and that way they can't really escape the Morgana ultimate that easily. But when you have a Lucian, you have a Leona who can get, can bypass it, you have a Jarvan who can Cataclysm Morgana away, keep her away from the fight, or a kick away. It's really hard for Fnatic to go for an engage here. Like, if they're going to win, they have to do it early, and they have to keep the momentum going, or CLG, I think, can easily win this.
One thing's for sure, they have a lot of all-in. I mean, Shyvana can jump in there, Aatrox is going to jump in there, balance you. Morgana got to jump in there to use the ulti. Everybody else, you expect Reckless to probably stay at range like every AD carry should, and could also see Thresh diving in there as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that how is Morgana going to get set up for the fights? And in my head, it's just
Aatrox.
It's Thresh or Aatrox, because you need Aatrox to maybe bounce them up and then do the slow, allowing Thresh to get the hook in there, then box them. But if none of that lands, or if it's not synergized perfectly, Morgana won't be able to get there and get an effective ultimate, because she's like a one-trick pony. Once your ulti's down, that's basically it.
Well, let's look CLG. I mean, what have they got to counter it? They got a lot of all-in. We saw how Leona was for Afromu in the last game. We saw how Doublelift was on Lucian. Link on Orianna, well, obviously back that up with if you land that solar flare, you're pretty much not going to escape. That's for damn sure. Jarvan in there as well. That's a good all-in. Lee Sin in there. It's Nien actually, by the way, on Lee Sin. I should point out. This is a top lane Lee Sin, which is going to be interesting in itself.
See, I'm actually thinking that CLG won't try to all-in a fight. If anything, maybe use that Leona defensively unless you catch them off guard with the ultimate, because if you use her defensively, you can keep one or two people away from your AD carry.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the semi-finals of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. It is Counter Logic Gaming playing as the red team and Fnatic right there as the blue team. What will we see? Will we see level 1 action? Not too sure. We haven't seen a great deal so far.
It's kind of hard, especially when it gets an Orianna like this. I mean, Fnatic have a good comp for it, when you could go for a knock-up and then Morgana bind, even a hook. But when you have an Orianna ball to check every bush, it's kind of impossible unless the other team makes a big mistake.
Ooh. Is he going to throw the kick out? Is he just going to get caught out? No, he's just going to walk straight in a face check. Is it going to be enough? They do get the knock-up. Soaz comes in, a flash hawk comes out from Yellowstar. First blood, Reckless.
Wow, Yellowstar, that was an amazing flash coming out right there, locking it down before he could even escape. And that was the mistake I was talking about. I mean, there's no way they should be able to get caught unless Niantonso face checks a bush, gets hooked, and gets killed.
Exact same position Cloud9 got caught out on in the World Finals. What? Why? Why are they doing this? Reckless goes back, gets himself a longsword. That is first blood, and that is going to hurt in lane.
And Double's like, well, thanks for making my job a little bit harder, guys, as he's going to have to go up against that unless they do pull a lane swap. But Wow, I mean, just fantastic coordination, fantastic knowledge by Yellowstar to realize I can make it in time. I can get this grab. But right now, Fnatic, I mean, that one kill, that's not enough to win the game. They still have a long road ahead of them if they want to be able to pull this one off, as well as CLG here. We already see a couple of wards coming in, and it looks like CLG do have an understanding of where Fnatic is in terms of that red buff.
Wow. Unbelievable for me. CLG starting off on the red buff. They're going to make sure that gets secured. Are they going to give it to Nien for that top lane, or will they let Trix have it? I assume they're going to give Trix. Actually, Nien stuck around and made sure he got some of the experience, so we'll see how that translates into the lane phase. This is going to be Lucian and Afromu. That is the double Mu or Afro lift, whatever you'd like to call it, in the top lane up against Soaz, who will be on Shyvana as well. Of course, in that top lane, there is that Zenith Blade catching straight away on Soaz, starting off as he means to go on.
And you're seeing Nien follow Trix throughout the entire time here, just to gain the experience like you were saying. And then I'm assuming that Trix will be able to sit in his lane on top of that to get some experience that he's going to be missing out. But you see right now, Fnatic, they're just pushing it quickly. They realize, all right, there's no point in leaving the lane in the middle, or in the middle of it. We should punish him for doing the same thing he did last game.
Well, punishing maybe what they do. We'll see how it works out between them, because there's going to be a lot of punishment for Nien here, and he's got hooked again by Yellowstar. He is going to get the help of Trix, so with that double buff, he's going to stick around a bit longer and maybe have to help Nien get a couple of levels on.
This is free reign for Sana if he wants to counter jungle right now. He knows where Trix is. He knows probably what was and wasn't taken. He knew they were at that red buff because of that ward, and they also knew that Nien Tonsa was there, so that's why they shoved the lane really quickly, having that information. But he's not going to go for counter jungling this time. And, you know, I've never been 100% convinced by Aatrox, period. Really? In competitive. I don't know, just something about him is never really...
Did you not watch World Finals?
No, I'm not saying he can't be good. I've never been convinced about him as a champion in competitive play, but I'm hoping Sanai can prove me wrong.
There's a lot of people that have proven anyone wrong with Aatrox. He has been a fantastic pick for me in a number of lanes, top lane and jungle. So far, it's been...
Maybe he's one of those champions that just can't seem to play.
He's got a pretty big win rate.
He's like Poppy for me.
He's like Pop. Well, I'd say he's very different from Poppy in terms of win rate, that's for sure. Double Liv's KDA, though, from the last one. 904, 248 CS on Lucian. Let's see if he can do more of the same. Cyanide coming in towards that top lane, going to help out so as just keep it safe from the tower, and that tower is already taking quite a bit of a beating from Double Liv there. He got some good damage down onto it, so Reckless do the exact same in the bottom lane, and this effectively is what it's becoming, and you guys playing 3.14 are probably used to seeing these 2-1-2 lanes so far.
Yeah, and it's actually having Fnatic come out ahead in it, because look at the level difference. Sana's already level 4 at this point. Trix is still level 3, and they tried shoving the lane very quickly, but Trix is committing a lot of time down here. Maybe he's giving up the rest of his jungle mobs and just trying to take the buffs away. Either way, starting off pretty slow so far. No big CS discrepancy anywhere except in the jungle.
Well, we already see the fact that obviously Trix sticking around there has given Cyanide an edge already, because he's on level 4. He comes back in towards that top lane. Blue buff, red buff already worn off. This is going to come and keep Soaz ticking away. So they actually have a bit of a level discrepancy at the moment. The Fnatic guys in the top lane are slightly ahead of the bottom lane, and also ahead of Double Lift and Afromu in lane. You can see they're both only level 3 versus level 4s.
That's going to really come into play, especially when you're a caster AD carry, as both these two are. But you do see Trix finally leaving here. He does finally hit level 4. A lot of action happening in middle as he's trying to push Peke out yet again. But I'm trying to think, where is this game going to break out next? And I think it's going to be around that 7-minute mark when these buffs come back up. Will Cyanide try to counter jungle yet again? Will Trix allow that, or will he go for counter jungling himself?
Well, with Peke back in so early, it means it's going to be level 6 for Link first. We'll see whether he goes back here. He is, so he's not going to hit 6 first. Instead, it will be Peke who's going to return to that lane and get it on time. So, Cyanide, he's back clearing out that jungle while Trix is sticking around in this lane, still only level 4. So we'll see whether Cyanide just hits level 5, keeps that edge on him, and that's exactly what he's doing. The hook gets thrown out. This time it lands on towards the Enton, so Reckless putting the damage back down there. Good feel Philosopher's Bomb as well. Philosopher's Bomb?
It's a new thing. It's a new thing. You know, it's funny because Lee Sin and Jarvan is actually like a double bruiser lane that does really well against AD carry support. I've seen it in solo queue a few times. It's really frustrating to play against because Lee Sin can just get around there and Jarvan has a clear path into anyone, but the Philosopher Bomb, it's not going to really help out too much this game.
It's a new skill that Riot may well be implementing sometime soon, who knows. But the Phosphorus Bomb is the word I was after, the Philo Stone. But Double Lift in this top lane, going to get focused on, has to use the flash to get avoid Cyanide's knockup.
Bottom lane, we see some action already breaking out here as CLG still trying to be aggressive, but yet Trix is committing to staying down bottom. They are running this 2-1-2 kind of plan, unless they plan for Afromu to roam around a little bit more, but Bust will be coming up in just about a minute, and this is the real tell. What is going to happen from this point on, because this will decide. And Afromu, is he going to Is he going to ward up? Is he going to try to take the blue away?
No, he's going to go and try and see if he can get a kill on top Soaz. That's what worked out for him last time around. He had the help of Link as well, and not going to be joining him. See if he can get back in there. Soaz thought about pushing the lane a little bit. Instead, was happy to just back off. I think once he's hit 6, there's not really going to be much pushing of Soaz on that tower. He got that burnout running. That's leveled up quite convincingly. You can see he's just clearing out that wave. So I think COG may actually go for a little bit of a lane change here.
And right now, we see a lot of pink wards already invested into the side of CLG. Maybe with this lane swap coming in, they will decide to go for a dragon relatively soon with it after this next set of buffs. But Trix going to be able to clean up his red here. Be able to go to blue right after that. But Sana, like, he knows when this blue is going to be up because he saw exactly where Trix started. He knew the times on this, and it looks like he's trying to go for it. But with those wards from Aframu, it's going to spot him coming in.
The lane swap is on. Cyanide coming towards the red buff. Trix has picked it up. Cyanide's a little bit too late on that one. Thought about maybe going aggressive on Trix, but Link was very close by. So we're back to standard meta right now. The two duo lanes in the bottom. We'll see how they work out. Doublelift and Reckless up against and Yellowstar, sorry, and Aframu now up against one another. There has been a slight CS advantage for Reckless as he's been down this bottom, and it was Doublelift that chose to change. So obviously moving lane simply lost on that extra little bit of CS.
And right now he does have a lot of minions with him, so the CS lead will increase just a little bit more. Will be donated over to Link, it looks like. And I want to see if Aframu's going to go for an engage anytime soon. He's going to have level 6 shortly. And with that comes another form of CC form, as Trix is already heading down here. He's not spotted by a ward, I believe, and this can be very dangerous for Fnatic.
Well, it will be. We'll see whether he manages to go in. He's been pretty much spending his entire time down this bottom lane. While it's happening, the blue buff is being gifted across. There's the hook. That's going to bait them. Realize the situation. Flash is out, so he's caught in the Cataclysm. The Cullen's coming out from Doublelift. That will be a first kill for him.
Yeah, great job by Trix to kind of finally make his presence known after sitting in that bottom lane the entire time, picking up a kill. And Yellowstar just wasn't quick enough. Well, it wasn't about being quick enough. It was just a great job by Trix to lock him down here. Cyanide being spotted yet again, trying to go for some counter jungling here. Link, I don't think he has the damage to take him down just yet. That and that blood will.
Well, this top lane, I'm not too sure how much Nien can get involved in a fight with Soaz right now because he's got that double longsword on him. He's building up towards that brutalizer possibly early on. Reckless taking some good damage from Doublelift there. That was not a close trade at all. Doublelift on Lucian is a scary beast.
And they might actually leave Soaz to go for some split pushing too, because he's going to go for a Bilgewater Cutlass. He's going to go for that Blade of the Rune King, as I think his first drill buy. And with that, he can out-kite Nien. He can do an insane amount of damage percent-wise, and he can take turrets down relatively quickly. But I don't know if Fnatic want to go back to that split push style, at least with a Shyvana. Well,
it seems the Reckless, of course, is going for that Trinity Force. Meanwhile, the Vampiric Scepter already picked up, which means the Bloodthirst is coming out for Doublelift shortly. Nien taken pretty low on his tower there. Maybe a target that Aatrox on Cyanide thinks is a possibility, but look how far Link's got up lane. Surely could come around the backside of him. Peke has taken about half. There's the flashing ulti. Will it be enough to try and get out of it? The ulti will pop off. Cleanses just at the right time, misses the Dark Binding, and while Cyanide burning out the flash to try and get that kill. So double flashes burn, double summoners by Fnatic to try and get that one kill, and it backfired.
And Link even tried actually going for the kill on Xpeke under the turret. He uses ultimate, but Xpeke flashed past it to go for his as well. So great job by Link to go for that escape, and he's running double GP10. He's not going for like any kills right now. He's trying to wait for the late game. See Aframu go in.
Catches on Solar Flare once again on Yellowstar. No flash available, remember. Box comes out. Nothing they can do. It's another follow-on kill, and it is working well for this bottom lane duo of Aframu and Doublelift with the help of Trix.
And no ward to spot him coming in. Yellowstar had a pink. He had a green on him. He could have warded for it, but unfortunately for him, he just didn't put it down in time. Trix being in the right place at the right time, and Aframu with those wards he has down, he can see if anything will happen down the bottom lane in terms of ward coverage, and that lets Trix know, hey, free kill bottom lane. No flash, let's get it.
Aframu's stuns have been certainly on point. Cyanide lingering around just to making sure they don't dive on towards Reckless, but that's not going to happen. So as in the meantime, he's continuing to push in that top lane, but Nien's going to get his farm on, that's for sure. If you keep shoving him on the tower, he's going to quite happily pick up the gold. Now, it's very hard to stop Elysian farming once he can get going like he is. He has a lot of innate damage himself. Peke already picking up the Wraiths. This is going back to old school Season 2, I guess you could say, between Link and Peke. They're having to farm out the Wraiths in between lanes because the junglers are just so busy. Cyanide's trying to back. He's stood on a ward. I wonder if Aframu's going to take that target.
I don't think so. I mean, but either way, they're wasting time. Cyanide hasn't been in the right place at the right time just yet so far throughout this game. Trix done it twice. And in the end, Tanso, He's constantly going back, taking double golems as quick as possible whenever they come up, because he has 6% lifesteal plus his Iron Will. And again, Tricks, look who's down bottom lane. But this time, Fnatic does have a ward to spot it coming in.
Not me. Keeping the damage going. Phosphorus Bomb on double lift. Has to use the Lantern to pull him back there. Trade not working out. Yellowstar caught out again. Good play this time around. But again, double lift has the Cullen available. Will he try and pull it on? No, he didn't have it. It's like a second away.
It's taunting you, Demon.
God damn, I can see the icon now.
It just came up.
It's too bright when it's disabled.
No, but Yellowstar, he's going in for it anyways.
He gets the hook on Aframu. He can turn this one around with the Zenith play. Does manage to pop that shield, but double lift comes back in to protect his support. And well, double lift with that ignite burn. Cyanide's coming around the backside. He's going to come back in. Is it going to be Aframu that he catches the target on? No. Good interruption by Tricks. He may well pay the price, so doesn't manage to land the hook on double lift. Back off once again, the ignite burning on Nianton, so he's going to get caught on the tower. One more hit should do it. Soaz flashes out, does manage to catch him. The tower hit's going to come in. He will survive. And Soaz, just knows the exact range on that one. We'll take the tower as well.
Great play by Soaz with all that happening over towards the bottom side of the map. He's going to pick up the turret as well, so he's going to have a nice lead in his lane. He's sitting on 2,000 gold to go back with, so that Blade of the Rune King going to be coming very shortly. And with Neon already, I don't want to say out of the game, but being 0-2, down 30 farm, his damage isn't going to be too high as this game progresses, so he's going to be more, utility.
Fnatic going to try and take advantage of this situation in the bottom. They've bullied and pushed them out. They are sat ready and waiting. A hook on Aframu. Cyanide comes in there. He's got the damage, but Aframu tries to turn it around with the help of double lift. Can they get the knock-up? Yes, they will. They get the kill. Cyanide takes the lantern, backs off. Finally, Aframu goes down.
And just like that, able to pick up a kill, able to punish CLG for being so aggressive down at this bottom side of the map. But with all this happening, middle has been really quiet.
Really quiet. They're just in a farming session. Dragon possibly could be available. Sinai is ready and waiting for it, though. They know that Fnatic want to go for it. They've taken the top to it. Nien is up there. He's a long way away from the fight.
And the thing is, I wanted to make that point because the CS isn't that different. Oh, well, we do see blue potentially being stolen away here. Soaz even coming down from top side. And they really want to take this away from Tricks, who doesn't have a smite available.
This is going to be a blue and a dragon for Fnatic. They're pushing the advantage here. Peke is going to be gifted across this one. He will take that blue buff down. Cyanide goes back in towards the dragon, but they're not going to go for it. Instead, they're thinking tower. Soaz just around the side. He's ready and waiting. Instead, they're all going to back, and Yellowstar caught out of sit position. He's going to get locked up, and CLG give double lift yet another free kill. And in the end, he's going to take the tower, so actually, CLG taking some good advantages. They lost the blue buff for picking up a kill and a tower.
Yeah, not worth anything. They might even get their own blue buff, or, well, Fnatic's blue buff here, as expected, trying to stop him from doing it, but Neon coming down, it's going to be pretty much be a no, and he's going to have to back off. But even with all this farming that's been happening middle, he got it. Oh, he got it. Peke got it. Peke managed to steal that away. They're coming around the backside. Soaz, Nien's going to be the target. He kicks out Soaz. He's going to have ability to try and get away if he doesn't get caught by that Darbinder, which he didn't. Soaz is going to continue chasing on here. Has the rage available. Will he catch on? No. That's going to be an easy escape for Nien. And in the meantime, CLG tried to go for Dragon here, but Reckless going to be able to hold them off. And even with Link, or even with no Dragons being done so far, tied on turrets, Link has a huge goldie over him, about 400 or 500 at this point, because these two GP10s that are taken in. He already has his Athenes on Holy Grail, as you do have expected with 2,000 gold to be able to buy his when he goes back. But right now, that turret getting very low. Oriana to coming out.
Shockwave pulls in, but it doesn't really do the damage required, and it's actually Nien that gets caught, gets hooked, actually pulled out of the pool. Thanks very much, says Nien. I'll take that and safeguards away.
That's just so hard to lock down a Lee Sin with this combo. I mean, you're going to need more than just those two spells alone, since he has that guard to get away. But right now, they're still committed to this turret because they see that double lift after we're bottom.
Yeah, they're sticking around bottom. That's going to be the last hit required. But will it be Peke that goes down, takes the lantern, backs away from this one? CLG did push that bottom lane. There is a wave pushing on. I'm not too sure how low the turret is. We maybe get a look at it. But I can tell that we're going to see the AD carry get in there. No, it's a good half health. So Reckless will clear that one out and save the day. 2-1 in turrets. Fnatic with the advantage this time around.
And right now, CLG, I wonder if they're going to start grouping up and go for some pushes middle. If Reckless stays bottom, then he's not going to be in this fights, obviously, and CLG should have an advantage over that. But he wants to get that turret down. He wants that gold, but Dragon's still available right now. 16 minutes in. Both these teams going to be going for it very shortly, as CLG already making their move. And we did see XPeke go back.
Cyanide nearby, though. He's able to get in and steal. Flash is also up, so he could get in, knock in. Of course, a bad day for CLG, but that Shockwave is not available just yet. That's what they're going to delay for this one. You can see it's already on Tricks. Cataclysm used. Tries to pull the flash out, doesn't Kate it, because Cyanide just uses his jump to get away from there. Still can get in, get that flash, and get that dragon smited. The hook comes in onto Link. Will they focus on towards there? Soaz goes in and quickly redirects. They're going for the dragon. Dragon will go down to Fnatic. No, it won't. He hasn't been taken out. Now he goes down. That's going to be a kill for Fnatic as well. You can see Peke comes in just the right time. Afrim will get locked up. Double lift taken low. He's going to get locked in there. Soaz comes on through. The end taken low. He gets locked in. Lee Sin, can he escape? No, he can't. Fnatic get another kill. It's a 4 for 2 and Dragon for Fnatic.
And Fnatic, they stalled so long, or just long enough for Xpeke to get in there with that flash and ultimate coming down, and that cataclysm that happened, I'm not sure if I agree with that, because yeah, it zoned them out for a little bit, but they didn't get Dragon. They didn't commit for a fight off of that because they knew Link's ultimate was down, and just like that, Fnatic, they get an advantage. They get those 4 kills, they get Dragon, they get so much gold from that, and they also get a big confidence booster because this game's been pretty stale for them so far.
And it's the combo they wanted. They wanted Trixie's Cataclysm to stay so they could keep the ball. The ball was on his head, but he's like, why are you going in? I've not got Shockwave yet. My ulti is not up. And the only person he caught in it was Cyanide, who can just use his skill to just jump out of it anyway. So not even in a flash burn. So big waste of an ulti there from Trix. Maybe the pressure of the semi-final situation. Remember, this is his first offline semi-finals that he's been in. He did come up against, obviously, Quality yesterday. It was maybe a nice break-in game. But now he's up against the 3rd place Fnatic in the World Finals of Season 3. Different story indeed.
And the spring and summer split champions.
Indeed. They are pretty much the dominant European champions. And that's something that Gambit would love to correct at the start of Season 4, that's for sure. They are the bogey team. Doublelift actually caught out of position this time. Does manage to escape the Dark Binding, but goes down nonetheless to Peke. Yellowstar in the meantime, he's going to get locked up by Aframu, but the damage is not really there this time around. He gets a good leash onto Aframu. He's going to walk away from this one. Look at Fnatic though, they're closing the gap. They could come around the backside of them, but they will not pursue.
In the meantime though, Nian farming up that top lane, trying to catch up here, trying to get that Ravenous Hydra done, because when that happens, his damage will spike up pretty well, but it won't matter how much damage he does if COG keep dying. Fnatic, if they keep getting this farm, if they keep getting these items, which they already have, then they're going to become too hard to deal with. I mean, look at Soaz. We talk about Shyvana. You build like a Blade of the Rune King, then straight tank.
Peke, oh god, he's ready laning wait. Aframu's going to get locked in position here. That's going to be a double, that's for sure. Who will he be giving across to? Cyanide, 305.
Just catch him off guard again with these wards. Great job by Fnatic. They're even chasing away Trix right now. And slowly, CLG are losing control of this game. They're down these 5 kills. They're down 5,000 gold. And Reckless is still just farming away. He's 40 CS ahead of Doublelift. And you mentioned earlier, you know, you might be able to like punish Doublelift in lane.
What are you doing?
About to die.
It shows his position. Soaz knows he's there. Soaz coming around the back. Peke and Yellowstar coming from the front. The tower on nothing. You're not going to escape it. Dark Binding in there. Doublelift caught out again. And this time it's Soaz that picks himself up. The easiest frag he'll get in the game.
Oh man, but Doublelift, he's just being punished left and right, down 40 CS. Currently Fnatic winning on all fronts in that except supports. Scumbag Yellowstar. But they're controlling this. They have the ward coverage. They have an earlier Oracle. This is the first time Yellowstar's bought an Oracle before that 20-minute mark, and they're looking to take a turret here.
If there's one thing Fnatic have proven, it's they know how to snowball. Soaz caught good solar flare as well, but quickly flayed back. Trix getting caught out with the Dark Binding. Soaz is the one that picks up the kill. Aframu has to flash away from this one, and the tower continues to take damage. CLG, a valiant effort to try and beat Fnatic away from it. They may have saved the turret for a moment, but no, the hook, the death mark lands. Is it going to be the death sentence for Link? No, flashes out, but Nienton, so he flashes just in time that Cyanide comes in. The tower is safe, but not for long.
And Xpeke, he has his ultimate available again. He hasn't had it ever since that fight over towards Blue Buff, and CLG still couldn't pull that one off. That was really close on Aframu, but they're going to back away. They have a lot of money to spend, and they're going to go home happy with this one. I really wonder what's the next step for them, because CLG, they need to ward up their own jungle. Doublelift has been caught twice in a row. I mean, he just gets to lane, dies, and that is the worst thing to happen to an AD carry, because he's being punished in CS, he's being punished in levels, and he's almost like a full item behind.
Well, I mean, the issue is CLG have got 5 kills, but 4 of them are on Yellowstar. So getting the support as opposed to getting a carry is not that great. So, I mean, yeah, we know he was basically punished for using that flash, avoiding it, and Trix, Doublelift, and Aframu certainly made him pay in that bottom lane. They worked there. Worked it hard, I think is the safe to say, rather than what I was about to say, to get those kills for CLG. But all across the map, it has been crumbling, and Doublelift and Aframu are trying to carry this one through. Doublelift maybe trying a little too hard and starting to get caught out of position.
Yeah, this is something Joe and I always talk about. I think even you and I talked about quite a bit, is when kills get stacked onto one person, it's a good thing because obviously that person gets very strong, but if they die in a fight right away, or if they're not even in the fight, then it pretty much means nothing. All those kills, all that money went over to someone who can't really help in a fight. And right now, with Fnatic, with that Shyvana, with that Aatrox, they can kill Doublelift very quickly. And he has all the kills for his team. Nian, he's gotten one. He's got a decent amount of farm, but he's not going to really do much more than just that kick.
Well, the top lane seems to be the next focus. And you see them pulls continuing to land. The rest of Fnatic coming around the side. Oh, Link, do not stick around. You're going to get surrounded, son. You have to back away from this one. The rest of CLG do join him, but I think it's too late, and that Dark Binding catches on. Safeguard used to try and protect him from any more damage coming in, but Fnatic keep on driving on. Cyanide tanks that turret a little too much for my liking, and that's why he's going to back away. We do see Doublelift taking that bottom turret. This is CLG of old. Continue to counter push on. Can Doublelift drive on through while they hold off Fnatic in this top?
Well, in the meantime, we do have Expect to have his ultimate available. They're going to just zone them away from this. They're going to get the turret. We do see Cyanide going back. So it looks like he's going to be able to defend onto that. Oh, no, that turret's going down. He's going to get 2 turrets for free. In the meantime, the top we've seen Orianna ultimate miss.
We've seen Doublelift continuing to drive through on towards inhibitor turrets, and that's what he's doing. Cyanide is there now, there to try and prevent him. So we'll see who's going to win out. A 1v1 versus a 4v4. Peke taking some tower hits is not ideal. And now we see Doublelift backing off. Can they interrupt him? I don't think so.
Well, they got Soaz right there with that ward, so he's going to be able to escape through the rest. Fnatic just going to be running away. And Cyanide was able to hold on to, well, the inhibitor, I guess, there. At least stop the rain that Doublelift was doing over towards bottom. But right now, it's a 6,000 gold difference, but it's still anyone's game. It just depends if CLG can get their combo off or if they can prevent Fnatic from getting in there and getting that Morgana ultimate to really work.
It's going to be the Dragon that Fnatic focus on. They're going to pick this one up because CLG are nowhere near, and they don't even want to counter in towards a 5v5 fight. They don't even want to enter the notion of even trying such a thing. And frankly, Fnatic are in the driving seat. The question is, can they punish CLG? If you remember back to the semi-finals against Royal Club, they were in a similar situation and they just left it just a little bit too long, where Royal Club managed to work their way back in the game. And honestly, it was a game Fnatic should have won. The Royal turned around. Can CLG do a similar thing and maybe hold off on towards these inhibitor turrets?
We're going to find out very shortly if Fnatic can close this one out relatively soon. They're still going for that push on that bottom turret. It's not healthy at all. And Nian, well, all of CLG, they got to be careful. If that Dark Binding lands, you might see Fnatic just commit for that fight.
It's like an ion cannon coming through the wall there, honestly. If it lands, you know you're in trouble. The turret, though, just going to get poked on down. Link gets caught out. Ultimate being used by Soaz. They do catch on. That's going to be Cyanide diving in. Good shockwave. Pulls back Cyanide. Trickster, meanwhile, with that Cataclysm, does keep the rest of Fnatic at bay. Doublelift trying to snipe down, but unfortunately, the blood well available for Cyanide will not give him the kill. The culling's not going to land. You can't turn the distance around there. It was a 1-for-1 trade with a tower for Fnatic. The flash ultimate comes in. Who's he going to focus on? Aframu will get caught. He goes down. Nien caught out as well. That's a double kill for Peke, and a third one comes in as well for Soaz, taking down Nien. That is disaster for CLG, and surely will it be in him turret? That's the one I'm after.
It will be that first one. It will be that one. But yeah, they should have the manpower to go for it. But instead, they're taking away blue. They're going to take this, go back with the money, and just buy up. But Expect he had the ultimate up the entire fight, even before he went for that engage right there. And he just waited. He bided his time. He let them get close. And the multitasking he pulled off, pick up 2 kills right there, was a fantastic job by him. Finishes Zhonya's Hourglass. Even had in a nasty large rod. Right now, Fnatic are at the point where they're going to be an item ahead of their opponents. You see that reflected in pretty much every single member of Fnatic, except maybe Soaz, who's building a couple different pieces. And Baron, it's becoming more and more like a likely possibility.
Well, it's a 10,000, well, 9,000 difference between the two teams. 5-on-3 in terms of turrets, but still yet to break that deadlock and get in towards the base. 16-6 the kills. You can see 25 minutes gone. Game 1 was, what, 24 minutes long. Game 2 around about 32 minutes. And currently this looks like it may be the longest one so far. CLG, don't rule them out just yet. You just saw with a good shockwave, followed by a Cataclysm, can find the right target. Maybe backed up by the culling. It could do a lot of damage. It's a good combo. It could work. But CLG really at this moment have to land the perfect combo to try and beat Fnatic back, because in terms of gold, in terms of items, it is a giant gap for Fnatic.
I want to believe that if they can survive the combo of Morgana, then they can win these fights. They can survive that initial burst that she can't do. They're going to be missing on quite a bit of damage. It'll be one champion that pretty much does nothing for the next couple of seconds until cooldowns come back up. But I don't know, because they need to get that black shield off of her. or force it onto someone else before they can like potentially burst him down or CC chain him down or even do that to Reckless, because Ghana does have that Zonius. And we do have a death cap coming in on Link, so his damage on that ultimate is going to be very high. But he can't, no one's there to back him up. That's the problem, is that Doublelift can't really get close enough to really do anything here. As you see Link just taking binding after binding. And Aframu, who was so crucial in their victory last game with his engages, is being forced to use everything defensively.
And they've got to be so careful. Soaz just off at the side, just dying. That Dragon wanting to leap in, and just like that, they just zone them out. Binding, followed by a pull. And keep them at bay. Doublelift is actually pretty fed now. If he gets some free time to actually land the hits, he will do a lot of damage if he manages to get onto a single target. But that's the problem. It's a single target, and they haven't got anything to follow it up.
And the thing is, he has a giant dragon in his face, and he has Cyanide in his face. And he can't deal with both of them. He can't really even deal with one of them right now with that Random's Omen being finished for Soaz and the Warden's Veil picked up for Cyanide. So he needs to have the rest of his team help get those two down, because if that happens, he can take Morgana down. He can take Reckless down very low, but Reckless should be able to out-DPS him in a straight head-to-head fight. But then you have Yellowstar with his ultimate, his hook, if he lands it. And right now, Doublelift, he's being very aggressive bottom lane with Aframu.
Yeah, and just having to use that wall to escape. I was thinking, in the end, you are out of position.
Oh, they really want to kill.
Oh, look at Cyanide. The ping's actually on the back side of Trix. He may well use the jump across the bush here. No, instead he is going to be forced back by Soaz, so they didn't go for it. Doublelift in the bottom with Aframu. They're trying to create a situation here. They're trying to create the CLG split push, try and drive it down that bottom, but already Reckless is there, and look around the Baron area. They're starting to get that ward coverage down, completely covering the entire area. It's a defensive security net being laid down by Fnatic.
I can hear Yellowstar and TeamSpeak right now saying, guys, I've had this happen before. I've had double split push. It can go very wrong. Let's take a second. Let's get him out of that lane. As Reckless actually getting caught.
Reckless getting locked up, but there's not much damage following through. Now it will. Doublelift in there. He may get Aframu down. Can he turn this one around? Reckless has got a lot of damage. Uses the barrier out there. Cyanide comes in, and Doublelift is wrecked.
Oh, look at Sada. He raises his hands up in the air with joy, like, yeah, that just happened. So they pick up those 2 kills. Now they can push down on an inhibitor turret here. And
he's still happy. Look, they're high-fiving each other. Wow, they thought they caught him out, and they have. That's going to surely be the inhibitor turret. I don't think Trix and Yen can stop this one. Yen getting caught by the dark binding. Trix is having to use that shield to beat them away from this one. They're just waiting for that AD carry to catch up there. We're already seeing that Reckless is making his way up there. That's going to be the inhibitor going down. Surely will follow. I don't think they're going to push on through here. They will back up, but the dark binding on Trix, that's going to trigger the alarm bells, and Trix having to slide away from that one, the combo. Bloodwell may get popped here by Cyanide. Yes, he will. Can they follow it through? Will they catch him back up? Yes, they will. The shockwave, but he flashes out of it. I do not believe it. Now we're going to see Peke Pommins in, kicked out by Nyenton. So Doublelift now coming in. Can he mop up the kills? Good Cataclysm comes out, but Soaz leaps back in there. Nyenton so taking low. Soaz takes one for the team, and he goes down to Doublelift.
Oh, Reckless, he wanted a little bit more. They're trying to go and pick up a kill, but in the end, Fnatic, they get the inhibitor. That is the key point. And they might, wow, not be done just yet. I expect he's still sticking around, laying that dark binding. But CLG, this can't be their moment. Like, they can't even rush Baron anymore because it's just too late. They don't have enough time to take it down. But they're still alive. They're still showing signs of life right now, and that's what's key.
But look at the spread. 5-8, 4-0-8, 4-0-8, 4-0-7. Everybody on Fnatic's picking up kills, getting gold, getting the items they need, and that's really the big difference. Once they clash, Aframu gets locked up, he's going down. Not even going to be able to do anything to get out of that.
And that is just unfortunate because he doesn't have they don't have the vision control, and he's trying to create that opportunity, trying to make it so they can potentially do exactly what happened onto them, to Fnatic, but they've lost control of their blue for the most part. Expect it coming in, getting dropped.
Oh, good shockwave landing there from Link. Peke getting absolutely destroyed. Now the Dragon's gone down. They're going to try and chase on towards this one. Have they got the speed, the momentum to catch on? No, because Cyanide managed to slow on Trix. Trix has not got Flash available. Yes, he does. He has it, but he doesn't have Cataclysm available.
I get those two confused all the time, too.
Have to say things before I look sometimes, and that's the downside.
But right now, I mean, CLG getting that kill on next Peke. They could push a turret down. They could get some extra gold from that, but instead they back away. Going to take their own jungle for a little bit here, as they've been struggling to do for quite a while. So they're down 19-8 in kills here. They're down over 10,000 in gold, so they need to find something. They found a little bit of a crack right there on Fnatic, picking up that one kill, but can they do it again? Can they do it multiple times and get enough cracks in Fnatic to break this power ball they have going on?
Well, we will see. It's not a wrecking ball, that's for sure. Fnatic, they are driving on through. Cyanide and Soaz clear out the opposition jungle. CLG Doublelift once again lingering down that lane without too much vision. He has just the ward off to the side of him, so he knows he's safe from the blue, which is why he's going down for that extra pack. But the rest of Fnatic realize that, shows himself on the map. Will they go Baron?
Well, they don't necessarily even need to do it. They can just bait it out. They have the vision control. They have super minions pushing middle. They're going to be starting it off here, but keep that in mind. They don't have to go for it. They can jump over this wall. All three of them can get over there on some tricks.
Oh, that's what they needed. The bait comes in. Trick's not going to get out of this one. Tries to slide through. Demacia standard ignite. And the defensive ball from Link. We've seen the great escape from Peke. Now we got the one from Trix.
They're still continuing on. So it's going in.
Oh, no, he's going to get away. He has the ignite. The ignite's got him. Oh,
he ran away from Link, so he couldn't get the Powerball on him yet again, and it's really unfortunate. But right now, Baron's still be taken. Fnatic's going to be able to pick this one up. It looks like they're going to be able to close this game very shortly, but Doublelift, he was pushing ball this whole time, but Xpeke was able to back and stop it.
So as not even allowing a ward to go down and just prances on in towards in the end, forced to back away from the jungle. Realizing, though, that the Baron was picked up on him. They would have seen that buff. They know it's gone down. Dragon, though, like you say, picked up by Doublelift, trying to get anything they can.
Yeah, and he tried to create an opportunity by taking that inhibitor turret down, but he just couldn't. Xpeke was there to get back in time and to stop him, but right now, look at the CS difference between the AD carries. I mean, that's like the biggest, well, that and the mid laner is the biggest differences we have going on, but it isn't even about that yet. Oh, wow.
Oh, he cleansed it. There was no one there, nobody else there apart from Yellowstar. He thought he was in trouble, but that's a cleanse burned out. That could be so important on this next fight.
The mobility for CLG, it's so necessary. Like you said, cleanse gone, he won't be able to get away from Morgana anymore. Doublelift has to be able to just ride the outskirts of this fight without getting caught to be able to do enough damage. But Fnatic, still middle inhibitor down. They're going to be pushing up bottom here. Xpeke was able to sweep that one around, and they have to be able to survive this siege. And they're in a choke point if Fnatic wants to go in for this. So Link could get a nice ultimate off. They could get a nice Cataclysm, nice Leona ultimate. But it's going to be very difficult to do that when Fnatic can just jump in with multiple people.
Well, Soaz is forcing those super minions to go through that mid lane. Doublelift is trying to clear them off a little bit. But the rest of Fnatic swinging and a miss from both Yellowstar and Peke, trying to land anything to prevent and start that fight. But that tower already down to half hit points, and Fnatic, they only need a couple of seconds to start beating it down. Look at Soaz, he's waiting to jump, pounce onto Doublelift just off the side there, comes back in. Doublelift, I'm not too sure who would win out that duel, but instead, it's CLG that go aggressive. He's going to be Trix trying to work away from this one. Reckless will shred his armor down. That shield will not be enough. And now they're in a 4-on-5 defensive situation. This will be another inhibitor turret going down. Inhib surely will follow.
Oh, Xpeke flashed in.
Flashed in. Will the ultimate get popped? The end gets caught out there. The box is thrown out. That's going to be Nen going down. Link gets just melted down there. Doublelift on the fountain. Will they dive on towards him? He's the last man standing. It doesn't matter. The Nexus turrets will be the focus once they can get the inhibitor down. This should surely be the game for Fnatic. 2-1 will be the score on the Intel Extreme Mats, the semi-finals here in Cologne. They will be facing Gambit in the final. It's all Europe, ladies and gentlemen, dominating the semis.
And Fnatic, after that last game, it looked like something went a little wrong for them, and they fixed that problem very quickly. Doublelift going in for Yellowstar here. He does get him, but for the cost of his life. And that last fire that just happened, Link, he tried to ult Reckless. He tried to hold him down. Just want to stop right there for that, but it didn't matter. Xpeke, he got the black shield up. He was able to keep him alive, and from that, they take that victory. Very well done by Fnatic.
GG, well played from both teams in chat. I can tell you it's all fair, it's all square. They are all happy in love and war, but it's Fnatic that come out on top, and you've got to cast your mind back to that level 1 engagement. In the end, getting caught out by that flash hook. Great play from Fnatic, and 25-9 was the total score. I can quick do a quick rundown. 8-0-9 was the score for Reckless at the end there. 6-6-2 for Doublelift. So I think overall Reckless may be winning, but Doublelift has proven in that last game just how good he is as well.
I think everyone could agree, though, that both these AD carries are phenomenal players. They really are. They did so well in their own respects in their different games. And I'm happy that everyone else got to see that. I mean, it's been so long since IPL 5, as you see right there.
There we go. That's the hook we like to see. The two AD carries. See, it's all respect, really, honestly. Good bit of trash talk. I guess effectively it's like the fighters. They build up the trash talk to build up the hype to get the viewers.
Yeah, and you know, you heard Double talk about it earlier. Like, once something like this happens, you know, he loses, he's not too cocky that he won't look back and be like, okay, I need to work on this, I need to practice. And he has that drive that not a lot of people have, where he wants to be the best. I mean, he always says he is, but he definitely wants to be it. He wants to prove it to everyone, and he's going to work harder and probably come into the summer split or the Battle of the Atlantic with something different.
Well, He got a pentakill at the All-Stars, so I don't think he's got too much to prove, honestly. He is a fantastic AD carry, but it's Fnatic that go through. 2-1 was the score. Unfortunately for North America, they only picked up 1 win against the European teams. That's not the best result they could have hoped for following the exit that Cloud9 had. Honestly, I had this penciled in to be a Cloud9 Fnatic finals, but it turns out it's Fnatic Gambit again, and Gambit themselves were probably cheering on CLG there because they do not have a good record against Fnatic.
Yeah, they really, really don't. And this is what I'm looking forward to in this game. You said it before, you know, Fnatic, they're the reigning champions between spring and summer splits. Gambit, they have something to say about that. They have something to prove here. They want to finally beat them and show everyone else that, yeah, we're still the best team, or we're the best team yet again here in Europe. And it's going to be an insane set of matches because, you know, we heard from people, and you mentioned it, Fnatic haven't been practicing. They haven't been looking that great recently. But they showed it there that they still have it when they need it.
To me, though, in terms of teams that we just watched, Gambit was strong this morning.
Yeah. They were really
I don't know whether
strong.
I should go against Gambit ever again. I don't know.
I
Maybe
never
not.
do that because I don't want to lose the friendship with them. Sorry.
I'll work on gaining it back, don't worry.
You have to go through the belt.
A bottle of vodka with Groove. We'll be all good. Not too sure I should be talking about that on stream, but nevertheless, that's what we're probably going to happen. But yeah, the Intel Extreme Masters Finals in Cologne. Obviously, the Amateur Finals will be coming up after this one as well. That in itself is going to be a fantastic game. Copenhagen Wolves versus Ninjas in Pajamas.
And I wonder if Ruckus is going to watch this game and root on his old team, because remember, he played with Copenhagen Wolves through the entire summer split when he couldn't play in LCS. I think even the spring split. It's going to be a good set of matches. We have 2 finals coming up here, Demon.
2 finals coming up. You don't want to miss it, but something you definitely don't want to miss is the analysis that Crepo is about to give us.
And Joe. Thank you, Crepo, for that lovely introduction. But game 3 there, a good finisher in my eyes. Talk us through, you know, your key moments of that one. There was quite a lot, I think, to talk about in it.
Well, it all started out by the first pick, Shyvana. And that's pretty much the entire story for me. I feel it's such a strong champion, and it definitely put the game in its final fold already, just from the get-go. I mean, Soaz is a really strong top laner. Plus Shyvana, it's really hard to deal with. Other than that, the picking phase was pretty interesting and pretty well played by both teams after that. The contestation of Leona again, early pickup by CLG. Good counter by Fnatic saying, hey, we're not going to go for Annie again, we're definitely going for Thresh here. For a multitude of reasons, Thresh, the Flay, could interrupt the Xenoblade. We saw that a few times. Then Afrim played beautifully around that. He went opening with his ultimate, going for the immediate stun lock, and then allowing himself to Xenoblade in while, say, Thresh was stunned. Good follow-up from Trick, but they focused too much on Yellow Star. Yes, they got him twice. They got his flash, camped him again. But meanwhile, Rekka's, he never died. He never died in the last 2 games. He died once in the first game. Sure, you're getting gold and you're killing the support, but the AD carry, if he keeps farming, it's just not enough.
I want to ask you as well about the items on Link. Double GP10, not something that we see very often, if ever, here in Europe.
I mean, Link's been known to do that apparently in NA. I even tweeted about it. I was like, hey, what's up with this? I don't want to discredit it before. I don't want to knock it until I try it. Apparently, he did it a lot in the past and very rarely does it now. Just feels like he shouldn't. He's spending gold to get gold items, to get more gold to buy more items, and I feel like he could cut those steps, especially in an AFK farm lane that is Morgana against Orianna. Not too much action was happening there. I feel he could have invested early into his Athenes and then spiked a little earlier with Rabadon's death cap and maybe won more fights. But by that time, it would have mattered. I think the game was already too far in Fnatic's favor, so we will never know.
What do you think to CLG overall? Obviously not going to be making it any further in this tournament, but considering this is their first tournament with the new lineup, I mean, there's some promising signs there, surely.
I mean, they're having some problems here and there. I feel, and I'm not entirely sure if Trick was in his comfort zone. He did really well on Elise. He brought on Shyvana. The Jarvan, he got his gang stuff, but it was always on the support. But maybe that's just like a tactical mistake from the entire CLG lineup. We could definitely see the influence the Monte Cristo's having on them, showing them that, hey, the objectives are on the map to be taken. CLG was a lot more tower focused, a lot more rotations coming in, a lot more respect for vision. I'm definitely enjoying the way Aframu is supporting compared to his first passage. It definitely seems to enjoying a lot more, plays what he wants, plays it well. Doublelift is still Doublelift, so he's very strong. They just have to find more champions that each and every one is comfortable with, so they don't end up playing stuff they don't like, and just prepare for their opponents.
So let's talk a little bit about the final while we've got time. Obviously, it's going to be an all-European thing now, Fnatic versus Gambit, which is not bad for us and for all these guys in the audience as well. But it's also a match which has been played
Many times.
I don't know how many times on this very stage right here. I mean, what's your opinion on that final?
Well, the good thing is teams are not going to give anything away. It's the last time they play on 3.13, so they can really do whatever they want. Fnatic's feeling confident. Gambit's feeling confident. Gambit's well rested. So Gambit's always the best when either they boot camp or they have a lot of time before the event, so they don't spend traveling back and forth too much. So we're going to see a really strong Gambit, and maybe slightly under-practiced Fnatic, but still showing a lot of mental agility here. So I'm really looking forward to that match. It's going to be great. Cyanide's been playing well. Diamond's always been playing well. Peke had a little off game the second game, but if he gets up against Alex East, it's going to be interesting. Reckles against Edward, so to say, both coming in new. Edward and Genja being really good entity together, combined with Reckles and Yellowstar. All around the map, it's pretty even. I have no idea who I give it to. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to try.
That's cheating.
Okay, fine. Fnatic.
Okay, there we go. That's what I wanted to know. So Fnatic going to be for that one. We've of course got the amateur final coming up here next as well. So let's just touch on that one quickly. Ninjas in Pajamas versus Copenhagen Wolves are setting up on the stage right now. What's your thoughts on that? We were talking about it earlier on, and from my side, I'm not quite so sure what to expect out of that.
I mean, what I saw from Wolves was very surprising. Let's face it. If they lose Shook and they lose Reckles, and I think any team losing those two players, I'd be like, well, yeah, well, they're done for. An amateur team, where are they going to find that other teams won't pick up? And they scouted talent, they immediately played with it, and they have synergy, and they played really, really damn well. As opposed to Ninjas in Pajamas, so-called amateur team, but they're still like 3 members of Lemon Dogs in there. They have to refine a little synergy in between. But both teams showing really, really great games, and they can definitely tie on the same level as these pro teams.
Well, we'll be bringing that game next of all. We're going to be casting together, so I'll see you on the other side. That'll be cool. So that game will be coming up next, obviously the amateur final. But first of all, we want to hear what someone has got to say about this game. Reckless, who had a fantastic game. We saw that hug there with double lift at the end as well.
Absolutely fantastic series, and you seemed quite nervous, and I've seen you play a lot, I've talked to you a lot, and I don't think I've ever seen you this nervous. Why do you think that is?
I'm not really sure, actually. Like, for me, this time starting and going into Fnatic again was a bit different from last time. Like, last year when I joined them, I had no pressure because I was so unknown. I was just a solo queue player, pretty much. So I could just go into those games and just do my best. If I fail, I fail, and I would not really have the community and, like, the pressure that it's applied now when I'm going into a tournament with this much hype. So I had a kind of new feeling, like being really, really nervous, which kind of helped me as well, I think, in one way. Like, it made me play a lot more careful. I only had 1 death through 3 games. So I think it has its good and bad side, but overall I was fine anyways in the 3rd game.
How much of that being nervous you think was inflicted upon yourself because of the whole social media thing going on?
Well, for me, it's like this thing with double lift is kind of just for fun, and I think it's good that people as well do it, because it's like, if everyone is just boring, as double lift says himself, it's like, why would people look for you? Like, posting my post on Twitter was like 500 retweets, and it was pretty cool. Like, even if it's just 3 words, it's like so much drama going, and I think it's good for the community as well to get something of that. So I will probably keep on going that. Even the hug was a bit like that as well.
A little bit of disrespect followed up by a hug. Always very nice to see. But in the game 2, a clear dip there for you guys. Where do you think it went wrong? Was it picks and bans? Was it decision-making in the game itself?
Pretty much the second game we had a few picks that shouldn't, like, we didn't never really practiced or we really like put focus on. For example, Astral, we have been practicing in a different way with Thresh, for example. But still, I don't think that was the main problem. But like, their 6 was so strong, and we couldn't really do anything because we didn't have any hard engage. Like, if we had Ashe, for example, we could arrow and try to engage hard. But I think it was mostly as well like decision making, because we lost so many towers and drakes for no kind of reason without gaining anything else. So I think if we would have played that game again and better decisions, we could have probably won it.
You went for Ashe, Corki, and Ezreal. And on the other side, a lot of Jinx, a lot of Lucian, we know double lift plays and says they're very strong. Why is it that you don't pick them or don't like to pick them?
I think it's not personally, because I play actually both Jinx and Lucian a lot. Lately, at least, because they have like the flavor of the month thing. But for the team, which we want to win, of course, and for the team, playing like Ashe, Ezreal, Corki, like something high, really, really high damage, or something with CC like Varus or Ashe, it fits the team so much better, because Peke and Soaz is already so good at what they're doing, and they play so much damage. Like Morgana and Shyvana had so much damage that game. So even playing Ashe that game would be so good for the team because I could engage and they could just finish them off. So it's either me playing something that like last hits people because they're already so low, or me playing something to engage so they can last hit. So it just fits the team better, I think.
All right, now, of course, you beat Doublelift and Afromu, and we have Genja and Edward waiting for you guys in the final. I mean, I can't even wait. And I can think that you're going to be very nervous as well. How are you going into that matchup?
I think the pressure will be relieved a bit from me, though. Like, personally, I feel a lot better. Like, already in the third game, I was playing kind of my own game, and the pressure being relieved from my shoulders was pretty nice feeling. But going against Genya and Edward is going to be a bit different because they play very more aggressive than like Doublelift and Afromo is really good, but we were lane swapping twice, I think, so I couldn't really get the feeling of what they wanted to do. Just the first game when they went really, really deep and I got double kill, but I guess that didn't count. But Genya and Edward is really good, and we scream them a lot as well. And Genya for me is probably the best AD carry in Europe, so going against him will be a huge challenge.
Can you tell me finally, we had that face-off in the bottom lane at the end of Game 3, and Leona got on you, and then you were 2 versus 1, and then Cyanide came in to help you. What did you say?
I told Cyanide to stay away, but he didn't. I don't know. It was just like I was so fed already by that time, so I could 1 versus 2 them, because they were really far behind, but for me it was just a cool moment, and those moments you really feel good about them as well.
Yeah, and it was just an amazing series, of course. All props to the entire CLG for a great performance as well. Good luck in the final later versus Gambit Gaming. Thank you very much. And as for us, we're going to be going over to Paul.
Thank you very much. Yes, end of the semi-finals now confirmed with a fantastic result in that game. And you heard what Reckless had to say. It was a brilliant 1v2 right at the end of the match as well. We really, really did enjoy that one here in the auditorium here. We also wanted to remind you that the Facebook competition is still going on, so you can still submit your favourite ideal League of Legends champion, the one that you make up. It can be in the written word, or it can be in the form of a series of photographs, or do what one of the guys has done and just write an entire catalogue. He could almost send it off to Riot as a brilliant idea for a challenge on all the champions. So if you've got an idea of your own, you've always wanted to get it out there, post it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/IEM. It's the very first post on the page as well. You can also interact with us via Twitter. It's also IEM, and also use the hashtag #IEM. You were one of over 260,000 people that were tuned in for our semi-finals. Can we make it even more? Dare we dream to have even more of you tune in? We hope so, because our finals are coming up next. It's the amateur final first, Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Copenhagen Wolves, and then a little bit later on, it's the end of IEM Cologne with our grand final. So make sure you stick around. We've got more on the way.